Alright, what's up guys? Saunch here and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I want to talk about my number one exercise that you can use and should be using to 1, burn fat, and 2, decrease your 2-mile time. So if you're interested in learning about why I think you should be incorporating sprints into your cardio program, make sure you guys stay tuned. So I've been using sprints to decrease my 2-mile run time in prep for the new Army fitness test. And I've also been using sprints to decrease my total body fat percentage coming into this year's bodybuilding season. So I compete naturally in natural bodybuilding competitions right now in Missouri, but it will expand once I get more successful. But I've actually been able to use sprints along with some other things, some tips and tricks, dieting, things like that. I've been using those things to decrease my body fat, getting ready for those shows. So I want to kind of share my story, my experience with sprinting, some science behind what sprinting does and why you should add it to your programs. Or even if you're doing bodybuilding, a great way to add your sprints to your bodybuilding programs. So first off, before we even get into anything related to how to apply it, what to do, the times, the intervals, anything like that, I think it's important to point out that you really should be focusing on doing a proper stretching routine before and after you do your exercises. Sprints, I like to treat sprints. That's a tough word to say. I like to treat sprints the same way I treat any exercise, by addressing what I need to do before I actually get into my working sets. So doing a dynamic stretch, some plyometrics, things that are going to get the muscles going, things that are going to get blood to the muscles, and then also after that doing static stretching. So static stretching being leg stretches, things where you're not moving, you're stretching the muscles out, stretches, right? Now, I know some of you are going to be saying, well, Saunch, when it comes to static stretching before a workout, sprints were going to be our actual workout. So it is going to be pre-workout, right? When you stretch or do dynamic stretching before an exercise, it actually decreases the amount of strength and performance that you're able to put into, well, let's say strength. It actually decreases the amount of strength you're able to output for that workout. So when it comes to the strength loss, referring to that stretching, I think that the benefits that you're going to be getting from the mobility and the pain reduction and the prevention of injury by stretching and doing proper stretching before and after, I think that is going to weigh out. It's going to overweigh the loss, the potential 5 or 10% strength loss that you're going to be losing from stretching. So there's that. I don't really want to talk how I've seen a lot of other channels approach sprinting and talking about sprinting on YouTube. A lot of people, they just pull up a bunch of studies and medical journals, and they're saying, oh, well, you can increase your muscle protein synthesis by 240%, and it increases your growth hormone. All these things are true, and I think they're important to point out, but I feel that the YouTube audience has already heard all that. So what's the point of me regurgitating information that I don't even understand? Because I look at these journals and I don't know half the words they're talking about, but I do know what people are talking about when they say, if I'm going to be doing this, it's going to increase my testosterone. If I'm going to do this, it's going to increase my ability to have better respiratory, being able to breathe, having better aerobic capacity, being able to breathe better and more efficiently when I'm doing my 2-mile run, along with doing my sprints. Also, another one was having a better ability to be more insulin sensitive, to be more sensitive to when you're consuming carbohydrates. So that's going to help with dieting, and also with your, I think it's going to be helping with your blood drops, with your being able to sense when your blood sugar is going down. when you're working out. So that's going to help as well, but I feel like that stuff's already been talked about, so I want to give you more of like my personal opinion and my personal experiences that I've experienced using sprints in my cardio programs and in my bodybuilding and army prep. So me personally, using sprints has really helped me a lot with a few different things. It's helped me with weight loss. It's helped me with fat loss. Of course, that's hand in hand. I've cut around 15 pounds-ish since I've really started incorporating sprinting into my program religiously. It's also helped me with, I think it's important to point out that it has helped me with my mental focus. It's helped me with my discipline. When I'm sprinting, it's me versus me. No one is out there. You guys are not watching me sprint. So I can quit. I don't know the proper way of saying it, sandbag. I could sandbag that workout and I could just write it down and be like, okay, well, I burned 400 calories. No one's keeping me accountable except my coach, but no one's really keeping me accountable during each sprint. For those 60 seconds, those 30 seconds, whatever it is that you're doing, me personally, I know what I'm doing. When I'm doing those sprints, no one's keeping me accountable but me. But it builds that strength, the mental fortitude, I think would be a good way of saying it. So I think that's an important thing to point out. It's definitely going to help you. It's helped me. I definitely recommend you guys try that out. Kind of think about that next time you're doing your sprints. Kind of winding down, now that we've kind of covered the main stuff in my personal experiences with the cardio, with the sprints, adding it to your cardio programs. Rest intervals can be a variable. So it's important to point out, if you're doing a 60-60 sprint, 60 seconds sprinting, 60 seconds rest, that isn't the most optimal way to train. So hear me out. I might recover better resting 70 seconds and then sprinting 60 seconds. Now I know you're going to want to say, well, if you're just training that way every single time, your body's going to adapt and you're going to get better at your sprints and your rest time is going to decrease because your body's getting better as you're going through. I would like to agree with you, but I feel like your body, not every set is going to be the same. If I need to rest 50 seconds or 60 seconds on the first set of sprints, the next one, it could be completely different. I could need, 65 seconds. You never know. And especially if you're putting out the same amount of force, the same amount of energy every single sprinting session, every single sprinting iteration. So if you have like 10 rounds, let's say rounds. If you're putting out the same amount of energy every single round, you're probably going to need more time to recover as you go along. So don't exactly get caught up in the 60-60s or the 61-20s or the 30-30s like the Army does, and how, honestly, that's how I train. I like to have that structure, kind of frees my brain to listen to audiobooks and things like that. But don't be afraid to take more time resting if you need it, all right? It's your journey. Do it the best way that you can. And that's really it. I don't want to beat the dead horse here. If you guys are not doing sprints, I definitely recommend you try them out. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of science if you guys want to really dig into it. And I'll put some links in the description so you guys can look at some of the journals that I pulled some numbers from and some information. If you're that kind of person, be more than welcome to read that stuff. But that is going to be my opinion on sprinting. I really do think you guys should add it to your programs. If you guys need help with anything, if you guys have comments or questions regarding this topic or just the channel in general, make sure you guys leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know I always say that's about it, but that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.